flags and escape path for artists, exposing my previous toxic creative workspace. Imagine the worst of the worst in a workspace. That's what I dealt with for about a year. I was a foreign student, desperately trying to prove she could make it on her own. And I think I might have, except it came with a price. That workspace was where I initially thought it would be a jumping step, but in reality it was a setback, both professionally and mentally. Not so much for the company, because they profited a lot from having a one-person army who took care of everything. And I think it's pretty common for creativity-related companies, like a studio where I was, to start small. And that's exactly why you need to be careful when applying for positions. The era when one person does everything and sacrifices their ass off for somebody else's company is over. Anyone who says, it's good for your own resume, we're all like a family here, don't listen to them. Actually cover your ears while you're running away from them. Red flag number 1. The genius boss who owns multiple companies. There I am, an anxious international student at the office. This so-called boss, who happened to run 3 different companies, was sitting behind a desk. A few other people were also on the same floor. Each of them worked for one of these different companies. One was visa-related, the other one was an interior design office, and the one related to me, a film studio. Or so I thought. Red flag number 2. Not understanding the position they're hiring you for. I gave him my YouTube channel link, and the boss opened my videos one by one. But you're wrong if you think the guy who wanted to hire a video editor would watch videos fully. He just pressed his finger on this arrow key and skipped the entire videos. That was the worst initial red flag I shouldn't have ignored. There was another guy who claimed to be a well-known music producer and a music video maker. I didn't know him because I didn't know many people in the music industry, but apparently he was the one who vouched for me to get hired. Red flag number 3. Not having a formal interview. Every time I had an interview that seemed informal led to let down only, including this one. We just watched videos and expressed our opinions. It was decided I would work and collaborate with these people for like a week to see where I would go. Red flag number 4. Free trial for the boss. Guys, never do anything for free. You know that famous quote that says, if you're good at something, never do it for free? That's not just a movie, that's real life lesson right there. Never do anything unless you have a formal paper with a signature from someone in charge, something that can be either translated, legalized, or used in a court, just in case you never know. Red flag number 5. Mood changes, empty promises, change of words. As I got more involved and busy with my language course, I came to the place less and less. After finishing my language course and working full-time before my master's program began, I did everything. PDFs, portfolios, graphics, edited photos, edited videos. And even after my university program began, I was even responsible for setting up for shoots, batteries, and equipment, everything. All that without actually being told what I was supposed to do. The boss, who was diagnosed with some disorder but said he had stopped taking the meds, barged into the studio asking, "Yo, is that Canon camera ready for shooting?" And I was like, "Oh, that's my job too?" It might get a bit gossipy from now on, but believe me, when you work with the boss, his wife, his sister-in-law, his best friend, his other family friends, as one stranger employee on the same floor, it does get kind of messy. So brace yourself or make some popcorn. Red flag number 6. Too many friends, relatives of the boss working closely. Literally said his wife didn't like me. When he saw my serious facial expression, he backtracked with, "Oh, it was just a joke, just an example." Why didn't she like me, you might ask? Because I didn't ask the wife who works one hallway and one bathroom away from our studio for an opinion on the film studio's PDF portfolio design. The woman had studied interior design, by the way. So I was still working there with a promise that they would hire me full-time and even change my visa, my student visa, to work visa. Make sure you won't be taken advantage of when you're in a fragile position financially or socially, just like I was. Red flag number... which one? Wait, hold on a second. Oh, 7. Damn. Oh wait, we're still continuing on 6. Another red flag. The never enough, never perfect illusion. You see, despite all those red flags and factors, I refused to be someone who did the bare minimum and got out of the studio as fast as I could. Because I actually felt bad. Nobody else was giving a crap about that place. And I thought it could have turned into the next big thing. And there was this guy who was younger than me. He had one photography course in college and did nothing useful during work, but he was really good at something. I didn't like giving useless, dishonest compliments, but I did my job perfectly. Yet the boss literally once told me, "You should be more like Mr. Kiss-Ass. You need to tell me, 'Good morning, dear Mr. Boss. What are our plans for today?'" And now red flag number 7, the misogynist boss. One of the most important things I want to say is the misogyny hidden in being a good manipulator. I started getting the ick and discomfort around this boss when a very specific conversation happened. I was looking for some photographs that the guys did, and I had to edit the pictures. The boss gave me an external hard drive and stood by my desk to see which folders I was browsing. In the middle of that, he suddenly stopped and said, "I may have on that hard drive. Don't open a folder with that name." And I looked at him shocked, and he was like, "What?" I said, "You have on the studio's hard drive?" He said, "No, it's my personal hard drive." So yeah, we had our backups on his personal hard drive. A few weeks after I edited one of the videos they filmed from a modeling event runway project, he was watching the final edit with me present as well as the music producer guy. He said, "Oh wow, I didn't notice. Half her breasts were out." This is the guy who photographs women alone in studios. He went to modeling events. He filmed behind the scenes videos with lots of young girls changing, putting on makeup, preparing for a show. I know I should have said something, but believe me when I tell you, my entire existence froze at the moment. I didn't know what to say. He was so chill and just throughout the sentence like it was nothing. I mean, I was a woman. The fact that he was so comfortable saying it with the presence of another woman in a workspace, and not even when he's with his like friends. Let's say I wanted to make complaints. Who was I gonna tell? The sister-in-law? The HR we never had? Ugh, even my camera was overheating. I had to turn it off. I think we're in focus. Okay. Yeah, and this part was honestly the most anxiety-inducing part of the whole video. When I was writing the script, when I was editing the script, and now that I'm talking about it, I have my hands cold, icy cold. Red flag number 8. He's better than us. Let's say you didn't notice the earlier red flags. It doesn't mean you shouldn't be careful. Look for manipulative and judgmental behavior from coworkers or your boss. In my case, the boss once suggested a short film idea in which a girl goes into a street known for prostitution and something happens and she changes. I asked, what is that thing that makes such a drastic change in her personality and career? He said, we don't know yet. I said, well, it's really important storytelling since it can be the climax of your story. You need logic for that and not just some silly plot like, I don't know, a dream or a guardian angel. Anyways, since I was aware of society's sensitivity to passing judgments on people, I also asked, so the message you want to convey is that prostitution is bad. He was caught off guard and he thought for like 2 seconds and was like, we want to say it's at least not a good thing, whatever it is. From that conversation, you can trace superiority, complex behavior, and expand it to a wider environment like that studio. Red flag number 9, boundaries who? He said he wanted to check something on my Instagram account. I thought, okay, maybe he just wants to check if he's blocked by somebody or not. Instead, he followed himself and his visa company page from my account. It was funny that I did actually achieve a little bit of catharsis after I agreed to not go to the studio anymore. He had just agreed to be my short film's sponsor. But everything fell apart and honestly, it was better than anything I had imagined in the past. I'll make a video on my short film as well. It's much more beautiful and I think so many people will relate to it. Okay, let's not get carried away. How I quit. After 2 months of the boss barging in and saying, if we had clients, we will keep working. If not, we'll close the studio. And before my finals, I decided to take some time off to work on my final assignments. The boss, on the other hand, did his little trick. Placed the employee under so much pressure to make them quit and then play the victim card, saying, you left us. You weren't loyal to us. Since he wasn't medicated and he was a good manipulator, it was easy for him to forget things or at least pretend to. Unlike what other people told me when I vented, I'm not gonna tell you you're too sensitive, ignore it. No, you don't have to ignore it. Who among us really knows if that karma bitch actually exists to take our revenge? How many of us will actually be reincarnated? We don't know. We should try to protect ourselves as much as we can and not settle for someone who destroys our mental health and consequently our physical health. Please speak up, file complaints, document everything, start applying for other positions, get recommendation letters from anyone you can, even lie if you have to. And once you have a secure offer from another workspace, quit your toxic job. So yeah, I haven't been in contact with any of those people and I even blocked them from everywhere, and it's just, this whole story is a chapter of my life I never ever want to open again. You guys take care of yourselves. Next week I will really talk about my narrative series. I already have a bit of sore throat, so I hope I don't get sick, but let's see what happens. We will meet again, I'm sure.